I have some different samples here to demonstrate some double crochet methods. Now, in this particular sample, so far in crochet with this single crochet and the half double crochet, you make your turning chain, but you don't actually work into your turning chain at the end of the row. And this works for those particular crochet stitches because they're not so tall. But when we start getting into double crochet, here's what the turning chains look like. Alright, so here's the front of my work, and here's my bottom chain, and I worked across in double crochet. Now, where the turning chain is, from not working into it, for one, it looks like you've got, this is actually a row of 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but with that turning chain it adds a sixth stitch to that row. And so again, up here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So that turning chain, not only is it adding an extra stitch to the row, but it's also giving a wavy appearance at the side. See how it's not even straight up and down. It looks like it's waving at where your turning chains are. And this is fine if you're, it just really depends on what your crochet project is going to be. This might work out just fine. But so because it does do that, typically with double crochet, you'll actually work into your turning chain, which gives you a nice straight edge. Now the problem with our taller stitches is that the turning chains are not as thick as the regular worked stitches. Can you see them side by side? And because the turning chain is not as thick, it tends to leave these holes in every single row where the turning chain is at. So there's a turning chain and there's a hole. Up here on the next row, you see the hole. Right there's your next hole. Right there's a hole. And right over here again is where the turning chain is, and it just leaves these holes. So I have actually come up with my own method of creating my stitches for my turning chains. And so you can see the difference here. This is, the top half is worked in regular double crochet where the turning chain counts as a stitch. And again, you can see those holes right on the edges. Each one of those holes where those turning chains are at. Now on the bottom here is my method from here down, and you see how straight it is, and that you don't get that unsightly hole. And on top of it, if you look really close, the turning chain, hoping you can see this, the turning chain looks exactly like the chain or the stitch, the work stitch right next to it. So I'm going to teach you all 3 of these methods, and you can decide which is the correct method for your particular project.